So it's been a while since I have been on this channel. Not obviously not because the person stopped doing the things that they are doing, but because, well, it quite frankly got boring. But apparently she's back at it again with this new iteration of clickbait on how she's allegedly losing everything. And suddenly, Dodash has gotten her car back, which is odd that she got it back, but it was never actually taken because they said they were coming to get it, but then they gave her more time. So, how did you get it back? But I don't know. That's that. We're not even going to talk about the inconsistencies in the story. You know why we're not going to talk about the inconsistencies in the story? Because that's besides the point. Because the point I want to make is one about why anyone who is exposing her toxic behavior is not a hater. And the first way I'm going to make this point is by acknowledging what is a living wage in the United States of America. We're going to actually evaluate this Dodash character just based on a purely financial relationship with money right now, because DoorDash is asking, suggests that you should quit your job and then donate to her when that didn't pan out for her the way she had anticipated. When she has made almost the equivalent of, not even almost the equivalent of an annual salary, she's made the equivalent of an annual salary. And I can verify that allegedly from her own posts of, let's see, where she previously said she's made $6,000 3 months in a row, $9,000. Additionally, she made $4,000 in Cash App donations when she went to the Sarah Jakes Roberts conference and didn't have enough money to quote unquote pay for gas. She made at least another $5,000 off the YouTube platform. Um, when she was doing the shout outs and accepting $25 cash apps for those. And I just want to put the $25 in perspective here, okay? Because a lot of you all are like, oh, well, it's no big deal. And part of the reason why people were frustrated about the $25 is because it doesn't actually add the value that she said she would. It would. But let's just put $25 in perspective here. So $25, and well, let's just start with what is minimum wage in the United States of America, because that is, according to her, some of the populations that she was talking to. Minimum wage in the US is $7.25. Okay. And so I asked ChatGPT, where in the US is a minimum wage? And it confirmed nowhere. Now, someone who makes minimum wage, okay, per year if they work full time. That's 2,080 hours. $15,000 a year. Okay. So, YouTube creator Dodash made $6,000 3 months in a row, 9K another month, 5K from shoutouts. Oh, I forgot how much she allegedly made from the blueprint. She said she sold 1,000 of them, and let's say at $11. So let's just say she sold 100 at $11, right? So that's another 1,100 from blueprints. Can't talk. Oh, and 4K in Cash App donations from the conference. In the last, let's be generous, we're going to say 9 months, but it wasn't a full year. Let's total that up to clear Dodash revenue over that's what. A total of $37,100. Sure, Make it a monthly average. On a monthly average, $4,122. How could it be that this person is 3K behind on their car payment then? Now, let's just go with these examples of misalignment of payment priorities and lifestyle creep. And we're all guilty of that, but we're not all guilty of coming back to then ask that same audience that gave us this opportunity to create what is an equivalent of an annual salary in less than a year and squander it. And then come back to ask those same people for donations. That's the issue. Now, if I go back to my last DoDash video in May, it looks like, so was that like 60 days ago, 90 days ago, where she was alleging that she was going to copyright strike anyone that had something negative to say about her, which she never did any of those 37 copyright strikes. And if she did, they did not result in anything because she would have been misusing the copyright law, because anyone who was discussing her is in the guise of fair use. But on top of that, I just want to see what that same thread says now about, okay. Uh, okay, I'm just going to ask, what happened here? And even ChatGPT says, oh, it's the predictable third act of this exact grift cycle. Okay, and so I'm just going to continue. She built her channel on support me instead of value for you. Anything that DoDash has ever offered on her channel, which she says creates any value, she's charged you for. They've never been for free. And even those things that she previously charged for, she later put them on the channel for free. Number two, she spent faster than she earned. With an assumption that all of this money was going to keep coming, she went out and got her hair done. She went out and traveled across the world in the car that she wasn't allegedly paying for. She went and spent $3,000 on Disney. She, according to her, because this is a video that's still on her channel, she went to not only a celebrity hairstylist, but then $1,000 to get her eyebrows microbladed, and then had to go back for the follow-up visit. And those weren't even in her city. She had to travel for those, which adds an additional cost to the service. Number three, she potentially overestimated how much her audience would keep giving. Her audience is starting to see through the cracks. Number four, she didn't diversify her plan for the down months, which any good YouTuber would do, because the gig economy and YouTube income is inconsistent and unstable. And everyone who is actively using this to leverage it as a business knows that. So you can't take it, just like DoDash said on her own channel. Oh, wait, you might not know what I'm talking about, but let me just share then. Hold on. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to say, I'm not even going to say it. I'm going to let DoDash tell you in her own words. In this video she put on her other channel, Latoya Jones, that has over 25,000 subscribers, just 8 days ago. Okay?
Don't listen to nobody, especially if they overweight and ain't got their health together.
Now, if Latoya is telling you don't listen to anyone who doesn't have their health together about fasting, wouldn't that translate to don't listen to anyone who doesn't have their financial house or YouTube house in order on their advice? So don't listen to them about quit your job. Don't listen to them about any YouTube strategy, because they've already proven that they don't know what they're talking about either. That's what she's saying. So why wouldn't that translate? I'm going to just repeat that, okay?
And don't listen to nobody, especially if they overweight and ain't got their health together. Don't listen to them tell you nothing about eating. And if you got a lot of weight on your body,
Okay, so that just don't listen to them tell you nothing about eating, but listen to Dodash tell you about YouTube success when her only success on YouTube has been grifting successfully for an extended period of time. Her success on YouTube has been acquiring a annual salary in both earnings and donations and squandering it, but expecting you to feel bad for her about that. That's not how this should work. That's why people are frustrated, because hardworking people are being manipulated out of their money by someone who doesn't actually need it. They just want it. They just would rather take your money than earn their own by creating value in any marketplace. Now, the last point I'm going to make is I had been very much uh, one of the things that had been stuck in my head was about this quote from Dr. Phil, where he had said once that you don't get out of money problems with more money. You get out of money problems by improving your impulse control and financial literacy. And so I just want to leave you with this particular part. If you're thinking about donating to this particular individual, hold on, give me 1 second. Now, I hope I don't get a copyright claim for this, but if I do, it's going to be worth it because I just need to let this simmer settle.
My point about you don't solve money problems with money. I tell you, it's like if you've got members of your family that come to you and say, "Will you loan me $5,000?" The answer needs to not be no; it needs to be hell no. Because if you want to give them $5,000, then give them $5,000, but give them with no expectations, no strings, and don't ever expect to see it again.
Now, if you want to donate to Dodash, do that, because like the channel shout outs or the one-to-ones, they do not have an equal value, so you are just giving money away. And if you just want to donate to someone who feels that they don't have to work for money, you should work for money and just fund their life, go right ahead, but just know that that's what you're choosing to do.
Or if you've got a paper shredder, put it in a paper shredder, because you don't solve money problems with money. People get in money problems because of behaviors, because of patterns.
So people get in money problems because of the behaviors that we've seen exhibit, that every time she's received a large sum of money from her YouTube or any of the other methods that she's generated income, she does not use it for her basic needs. She's using it for frivolous things and then coming back to you to ask to fund the basic needs.
Because of a lack of planning.
So let me just go back to this though, okay? Because I just need that to be said.
Problems because of behaviors, because of patterns, because of a lack of planning. And if you give them money without changing that, it's going to get sucked up and they're going to be right back where they were. So you just.
And so that's why we've just had this same pattern with this same creator over and over again.
Wasted your money. What you need to do is say, no, but I'll sit down and help you evaluate how you might have got in this situation. And they're going to say, no, I don't need your judgment.
Which is also what's happening right now when everyone is being called the hater, when all they're doing is actually asking for accountability.
But that would be a better help than giving them the money. Right. And the number one reason people get in financial trouble, do you know what it is? Everybody thinks it's because young people get credit cards and they don't realize what they're doing. The number one reason that people get into financial trouble is unexpected medical emergencies.
Now, I left that part in there for this reason, because the creator that we're talking about did not have any unexpected medical emergencies in which they couldn't pay for. They do not have any dependents that are responsible for them to live. They are purely responsible for their adult self. And instead of taking that responsibility seriously and using this as an opportunity to document that process, they want you to pay for it. And for some reason, yeah, people are eating it up, and I just don't understand it. Okay. Now, this same creator has made multiple comments about how they don't want to live within their means. They don't think they should have to. Living, but I'm just going to leave with this quote that's also from Dr. Phil. Thank you for all of my AI services that helped me come to this. This is using Microsoft Copilot. That said, living beyond your means to impress others is a fast track to stress. You can't spend more than you earn and expect things to work out. It's not, it's just math. It's not magic. Okay. So, for all of you that seem to think those of us who are pointing out these inconsistencies are quote unquote Dodash haters, the only thing we are saying is that the math ain't mathin', and you should be more discerning on who you give your money to.